I have a strict no outside human interaction policy, which is why I have a strict parameter of space I'm allowed to be outside. It's next to none. But today, I decided to let my guard down and go to the beach.
12 seconds later.
I'm bored. Well, good thing I took a bag full of goodies to keep myself entertained with, like my 2 copies of Wii Play, you know, in case one breaks. We also brought this Yoshi plushie. It's fun. And then we also brought this squishy Sonic the Hedgehog. Why not? And then, of course, we have a copy of Super Mario Sunshine. Damn it. Some of you may remember my take on Super Mario 64, saying it doesn't age the greatest. Some of you may also hate me and want me to die. In short, I think it's a very good game, and I do come back to it from time to time, but also things like the controls and some of the level design, among other things, make this game very hard to play in the modern age. But at the time, and even still today, Super Mario 64 was a very influential game, and it pretty much birthed the collectathon genre. Banjo-Kazooie, Spyro the Dragon, A Hat in Time, Ninja Bread Man. Never mind, this game fucking sucks. Super Mario 64 was so successful and so beloved, so of course Nintendo wanted to put a sequel into production. It never happened. It wasn't until the unveiling of their next console, the Nintendo GameCube, or as it was called Project Dolphin at the time, where Nintendo brought up a sequel to Super Mario 64, being Super Mario 128. How creative. Now this was less of an announcement of a new game, rather a tech demo showing how many character models or polygons or whatever the hell could be put on the screen at once. Because when the Mario game on the GameCube came out, where the hell are the other 127 Marios? In reality, of course, they wouldn't have a billion little Marios running around the screen. They had to do their own thing. Sad, I know. However, Nintendo made it clear that this new game, Super Mario Sunshine, was not a successor to Super Mario 64, and that's still in the works. So on the GameCube, we're stuck with good old Super Mario Not 64 2 Sunshine, or Super Mario Sunshine for short. You may wonder whatever happened to the Super Mario 128 tech demo they showed off at the unveiling of the GameCube. Well, it's pretty interesting, actually. Since the tech demo was made to show off how many character models they could put on the screen at once, they decided to make an entire game where they utilized the leap in hardware, which ended up being Pikmin, one of my favorite games of all time. Thanks, Mario 64. Sorry I said that mean thing like a minute ago. Super Mario Sunshine ended up being released in July of 2002, a few months after the initial release of the GameCube, and it sure is a game. So that's what we're doing today, talking Mario Sunshine, outside, at the beach, on a bright and sunny day. I need to find a new hobby. Super Mario Sunshine is one of the more diverse Mario games out there. It doesn't get as much flack as a game like Sonic Adventure 2, but it definitely gets its shit. But also like Sonic Adventure 2, it's also a beloved entry in the series by many, and even their favorite. Where do I land on the Mario Sunshine spectrum? Well, I fucking hate this game. Where the hell is Luigi? I kinda like it. Why does Bowser step? Why did the I've gone outside in like 6 months? Let's slow down here. Mario Sunshine starts out with Mario, Peach, some Toads, and Toadsworth heading to an island named Delfino Island for vacation. Delfino Island is an island shaped like a dolphin, which is a reference to the GameCube's codename during development being Project Dolphin. Cool. Also, Delfino is an Italian word which translates to dolphin in English, but we don't talk about the Italians here. As Mario, Peach, and Mushroom head to the island, they see a paint-like goop, Toad's words not mine, all over the place, and Mario goes to help. With this, Mario grabs a nearby device called the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing Device, but since he's not a psychopath, he calls it Flood. However, for comedic effect, we'll be calling it by its surname. This is gonna be a bitch to not stutter on. And then with this new device, you're able to spray water and hover around, which is a big new addition for Mario's moveset in this game. Then with this, you have to spray off the goopy stuff on the landing, and then you have to fight this boss of whatever the hell this thing is. I'll just call it the Poop Monster. This boss does a good job at teaching you how to use your Flash Liquidizer Ultra Drowsing device by spraying water into its mouth. Good job, just don't make me fight this boss 9 times throughout the game. Motherfucker. After Mario fights the Poop Monster, Peach catches a glimpse of what seems to be a shadow version of Mario. How mysterious. However, even with this shadow version of Mario being in plain sight, the residents of Isle Delfino, the Pinatas, however, decide that Mario was responsible for all the vandalism around the island, putting Mario on trial. And since the legal system on this island is more corrupt than my beliefs, Mario is almost immediately forced to go to prison, and all 1 objections are immediately overruled. Okay, Judge Judy. Motherfuck. But after getting some boring exposition from Flash Liquidizer Ultra Drowsing Device, Flood, you're allowed out to do some community service on the island. I'd rather stay in prison. And with all this, the actual game of Super Mario Sunshine starts. This game goes for a much more ambitious story than pretty much any other Mario game at the time, which I find really cool. In a game like Mario 64, the entire exposition of the story is pretty much just told to you in the first 60 seconds of the game, but Mario Sunshine goes for full voice acting, of varying quality, and something more than Peach getting kidnapped, but this is only the start of the story because we got a 3-act structure, baby. First time ever. But let's talk about the gameplay for a minute. I'm tired of thinking. Mario Sunshine has much more polished controls for Mario than its predecessor Mario 64. Now Mario 64's controls aren't awful, but also they kind of are. I find the controls in Mario 64 just to be a little bit off, and like you have a hard time having full control of Mario in many situations, especially when the level requires much more than just dicking around. You know what level I'm talking about. But Mario Sunshine tweaks Mario to feel so much nicer. In Mario 64, Mario had a lot of weight on him, which made sense. Look at him. Not trying to fat shame here, but I think they should give him less weight. Oh, they did. This feels so much nicer, but also at the same time, a big issue comes with this. Mario controls at a dime. Like, move your controller 1 inch, Mario's across the level. They also gave Mario jiggle physics in this game, so have fun with that. I know I did. With this, it gives me the inverse issue that I had with Mario 64, being that in this game I have too much control of Mario, if that makes any sense. But even with my complaints, not the jiggle physics, this game controls like a godsend of Mario 64. And what makes me love controlling Mario even more in Mario Sunshine is a previously mentioned Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing device. This is getting annoying, I'm just gonna call it Flood. Flood makes running around here so much more fun. You can reach extra heights or save yourself by using the hover ability, or you can spray water at random Piantos doing their job. Now I hate the disrespect of public retail employees as much as the next guy, but I'm making an exception here. F these guys. My favorite thing to do with Flood is spray some water in front of me and dive, which gives Mario a huge burst of speed. You can go very fast with this. I gotta be breaking some law here. I think Flood is one of the most fun additions to Mario's base moveset in any game, only really being rivaled by Cappy from Mario Odyssey. Although I did always find it kind of scary that Flood was sentient. Like, what reason did they have to make him alive? He's a backpack filled with water. It's like you're spraying his blood out of him. You guys sicken me. You reach the first level in this game when once you're allowed to run around Delfino Plaza, you see a shadow version of Mario run into a mysterious area which turns out to be the first level, Bianca Hills. Bianca Hills is such a great first level and does a very good job at introducing you to the main gameplay loop of Mario Sunshine. Firstly, I really like how they made the level actually feel like it's lived in. Piantas have houses and there seems to be some sort of community here. It's very nice world building. This is so cool to me because in Mario 64, no place really felt real to me like this does. For example, Whomp's Fortress is supposed to be like a base for King Whomp and all of his little Whomps. It's a floating island in the sky with no signs of life outside of this small area. Where does King Whomp sleep? Where do any Whomps sleep? Mario Sunshine, on the other hand, those are houses. That's neat. Bianca Hills has a similar style to a level in Super Mario 64, like having many of the same missions to complete in the level, like 100 coins, red coins, etc. But Mario Sunshine does make some changes. For missions like red coins, they changed it to be only completable inside of a specific mission, rather than being completable in all missions in the level, which I've heard some people say ruins a sense of exploration, which is true, but I actually think this opens up the door to a lot more stuff. Because having the red coins locked into a specific mission only allows them to be used in much more creative ways, like being set on a timer or having multiple red coin missions in one level in the game. 100 coin missions in this game suck though. What used to be like a free star in Mario 64 has turned into a stop and go mission that makes you want to pull your hair out. There's a reason why I'm balding. This game also has these new kinds of stages called secret stages, which are like mini platforming gauntlets. In these sub-areas, Flood gets taken away by the Shadow Mario, so you must complete a platforming area without the benefits of Flood. These sub-areas can be really annoying. It's crazy how limiting Mario's movement feels without Flood, who you have throughout almost everything else in the game, and these levels can be designed in the dumbest ways sometimes. Some of these are really fun and well designed, but there are others which have Mario just slip and slide around, and having other dumb features that just make him go, bleh. Also, whenever you beat one of these and come back to it later, an 8 red coins mission pops up inside where you have access to Flood. This game gives you no hints of these existing. I have no idea why they included these. Bianca Hills also introduces Petey Piranha, who goes down in history as one of the greatest and most influential characters in history, so you know, thanks Super Mario Sunshine. The second level in this game is Rico Harbor, which I feel is arguably one of the most iconic levels in this game. However, why the hell is this a second level you get access to in the game? Rico Harbor is amazing. It has some of my favorite missions in the game, like fighting the Gooper Blooper, Blooper Surfing, fighting the Gooper Blooper again, but harder this time. A lot of bloopers in this level. But this level is significantly harder than the first level, which is bad for a second level. Like, there's this long platforming section of the level where you must be extremely precise with your movements, and there's bloopers at the top that spit at you from these platforms, and you gotta redo like the whole thing if you fall down. It gets really annoying. And then right after this, you have to do a secret level where you have to quickly run on these platforms with Mario's slippery controls. Or even the blooper surfing. If you hit one wall while surfing on the blooper, you die. And this gets really annoying with all the sharp turns you must perform while riding the blooper. It can get crazy if you choose the super fast blooper, which I chose. These aren't even bad missions, I actually really like these, but they're just janky and difficult, especially for the second level in the game, which makes me wonder how some poor kid in 2002 felt while playing this. After Rico Harbor, you get Gelato Beach, which has a great and peaceful aesthetic, a nice and sunny beach, and you just look up at the sun and enjoy the nice weather. Cataquacks exist. They're cool and annoying. In this level, you have a nice beach town where you have to do things like smash a big angry wiggler. Be careful when you spell that name. You also gotta get these little fuckers off these big mirrors, which shine onto this egg thing, and then after the bird egg thing hatches, it's actually a sand bird where you gotta hunt for 8 red coins on the sand. It's kinda janky, and you gotta try and balance yourself. It's cool though. But also you have the Watermelon Island mission where you need to push a watermelon around the island, but also you need to keep the Cataquacks away. This mission sucks, don't play this one. In fact, when you get to episode 8 of Gelato Beach, just shut the console off and go to bed. I don't care if you're doing a speedrun or something, don't play the Watermelon Festival mission. Once you get a certain amount of stars, a weird submarine thing shows up on Delfino Plaza, and when you get to it, Princess Peach gets kidnapped, keeping a serious tradition, human trafficking. And once Peach is taken away, the Shadow Mario finally reveals his true identity. It's Bowser Jr. This is the first appearance of Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. does a lot of talking. You know me, I have my attention issues, so I have to keep myself entertained while watching this cutscene. In short, Little BJ, let's find a new nickname. Fetus Bowser tells Mario to f*** off and stop trying to take his mom Peach, and Peach pretends to be all confused, but we really know what was going on, but let's not go any further with that. And then Fetus Bowser parts the ocean. Like Moses. Was that original? Once all this happens, you get to go to the next level Pinna Park, where the first mission is to fight Fetus Bowser, who's controlling this big robot Bowser. So you need to shoot rockets on a roller coaster at the robot while keeping the bombs away from you, and this is actually a surprisingly fun boss fight. Like a boss fight in a game from 2002 where you need to aim rockets at a target on a fast-moving roller coaster sounds like it'd be hell, but it actually kind of works and it's fun. Pinna Park is one of my favorite levels in this game, and it's not because it has particularly great missions, because it doesn't. But you're in a big amusement park, and also they have Yoshis, and Yoshi's like the greatest thing ever, so that's pretty cool. Oh right, Yoshis are in this game. After a while, a Yoshi egg appears on Delfino Plaza, where you get to ride on a Yoshi that has different effects for whichever color you get. You got a purple Yoshi, an orange Yoshi, and a pink Yoshi, and they're fun to mess with. You can find little secrets around Delfino Plaza with Yoshi, and that's how you get access to the level Serena Beach in the game. Serena Beach is a really cool level. It starts out with this annoying boss where this manta ray splits into a million pieces and it's bad, but otherwise there's some really cool stuff here. Look, they even have a casino level, which gives me flashbacks to what happened in Sonic 2 where I spent all my money on the casino level. Damn it. Also, around this time you get to play the Pachinko machine level. Remember what I said about the Watermelon Festival mission in Gelato Beach earlier? Same thing applies here, but take a longer nap and maybe some Adderall. You don't want to see my reaction while playing this level. The next full-on level in Mario's Sunshine is Noki Bay, which I fucking hate Noki Bay. I think this level looks awesome, probably my favorite one in the game, but also, this whole game looks awesome, and nothing is really fun in this level. You have tight platforming, which even though Mario feels a lot better to play in this game, it's still not perfect, and it pisses me off. I guess the coolest thing in Noki Bay is this one mission where you get to go underwater and brush this eel's teeth. It's actually really creative and fun. I just remember seeing this when I was younger and thought it looked terrifying. I still do. Now that I think about it, I have the same issue with the eel in Mario 64. Maybe I just have a phobia of eels. Who knows? This boss is fun, but the drowning gets kind of annoying and sometimes it's hard to reposition yourself. And also I like bitching a lot. Oh, also as you listen to this, brush your teeth now. I see you. The last full level in this game is Pianta Village, and I just really like how this level feels. It kind of reminds me of Bob-omb Battlefield from Mario 64. I don't know how, but it just does. Also, I always thought this chain shop in this level looked kind of scary. You know, I have way too many fears in these Mario games. Maybe I should just shut the game off and go to the gym or something. No. There's this one mission where it takes place at night. It's so peaceful, and I could just zone out here and finally feel inner peace. Just look at it. Ignore the lava. The final level in this game is called Corona Mountain, which for the sake of everybody, we'll have to find a new name for this level. Syphilis Mountain. Syphilis Mountain is a platforming gauntlet which takes place inside of a big volcano where at the end you have to fight Bowser. Who would have guessed? The gauntlet of platforming is actually pretty fun. There's a stupid part you gotta guide a boat through lava. Only God knows how this thing hasn't melted yet. You know, I actually enjoyed running the gauntlet in Mario Sunshine so much, I've decided to run the gauntlet myself online. Just slap some keywords into a web browser of your choice and click on a certain web page and oh my god, that guy just got his head cut off.
Ha! Alright, that's it. I'm only using the internet for porn now.
After hopping on some clouds, you finally reach Bowser, and this is actually one of my favorite Bowser boss fights. In most Mario games, you fight Bowser a few times, which makes him not really feel like a very big threat, but to only see Bowser at the end of the game makes him feel so much more threatening. Also with his little fetus. Like when I finally get to the end of Mario 64 just to fight Bowser for the third time, just slightly harder this time, the initial threat of Bowser is kind of worn off. Bowser's in this big bathtub in the sky, which is pretty funny, and you need to ground pound on these little things, which eventually make his bathtub fall out of the sky. Give Bowser and Fetus Bowser some blunt force trauma, great, you save Peach and beat the game. As Mario and Peach fall into Delfino Island, you see Flood fall from the sky, who asks Mario if he's of assistance on his journey, only to literally die. God damn. Mario didn't even answer Flood's question, he just let him die. Fucking piece of shit. You finally brought light back to Delfino Plaza and all the graffiti goes away, meaning the piantas are no longer up your ass, which means you can finally enjoy your vacation. Dude, you guys are dicks, I just want to go home, man. You get one final scene between Bowser and Fetus Bowser where Bowser finally reveals to his son that Peach isn't actually his mom. That's kind of f***ed up, man. Why would you lie to your son on who his mom is? Maybe Bowser really is a bad guy. Yeah, the whole human trafficking thing and trying to kill some fat Italian guy never really convinced me he was a bad dude, but wow, what a plot twist. He is a bad guy. Also, Bowser Jr. says the coldest line ever at the end of the scene, like, his ass is back for blood. And his next appearance was in New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS. Look at this, his ass was not back for blood, never mind. If you 100% complete this game, you get a scene where the Toads were able to give life back to Flood, and then the game finally ends. How sweet. But how do you 100% complete this game, you may ask? Okay, so on top of collecting all 120 shines throughout the game, you can also find these blue coins throughout the missions, which you can collect. Now this may sound a little annoying, but it's not that big of a problem, right? There are 240 of these things, and they aren't all available in one level at a time, meaning you need to go through each mission individually. And the worst part is, there's no blue coin trackers at all in the game. It won't tell you how many are in a level, or even mission, you just have to find them somehow. You can open up this map, but do you want to know how much this map tells you? Jack shit! What reason do you even have to collect these? Do you get a secret final level like Sonic Adventure 2? No. Do you get a new skin for Mario to wear? Nope. You get a postcard. A postcard! Imagine sending this to someone while you're on vacation. Like, yeah, I'm on vacation. Go f*** yourself. Did you enjoy your vacation?
Hell no.
While I have a lot to whine about with Mario Sunshine, like it's sometimes jank level design, weird difficulty switches, and not tucking me in before bed, but I really do love Mario Sunshine. It has a theme unlike any other Mario game, really any other game in general, and I just love the beach aesthetic. It's so cozy. And this game even tries to connect the levels in some ways, like in Bianca Hills you can see Rico Harbor and Pinna Park from a distance. It's like an actual place that exists in the world, unlike the random disconnected places from Mario 64. Like if they had access to more powerful hardware, they could have made this game open world, and that would have been so cool. Kinda like that, but put that away. This game also has things like a more ambitious story compared to any other Mario game at that point, which we almost never see. Not that it's very complicated, it basically just takes longer for Peach to be kidnapped, and this time it's Bowser Jr., because Bowser's in a sky bathtub, but I still appreciate that. And this game can even be pretty hard, especially later in the game, because I feel like Nintendo can't add any challenge into Mario games without a million compensations. This game even has full voice acting, which yeah, nobody's surprised they never did this again, but you gotta appreciate Nintendo taking a risk, giving Bowser a voice. He doesn't sound enough like Jack Black though. Oh thank God! Mario Sunshine is kind of viewed as the black sheep of the 3D Mario games. It's kind of like an awkward middle phase where it's not Nintendo 64 janky, but also not Nintendo 64 janky. With Nintendo being more ambitious with this game, it can lead to some funky stuff. If that didn't make any sense to you, I commend you, you have a life, but for those who do understand what I'm saying, you guys get it. Super Mario Sunshine may have its lows, but it also has its highs, which in my opinion go much higher than Mario 64 and pretty much every other Mario game at that time. This game's lows, though,